Hey everyone, it's August 5th, and that means that if today is your birthday, you share it with convicted murderer Debra Lynn Baker, who murdered her multimillionaire employer in 1990, and that is her right up there. Born in 1956, Baker grew up in Wichita, Texas, and married her high school sweetheart when they were both 19. A few years later, her best friend married a local businessman who was quite successful at breeding and racing quarter horses. He had a net worth of millions of dollars, and in the 1980s needed a full-time bookkeeper who he could rely on, hiring Baker for the job. Baker didn't have any training as an accountant, but she moved down the street from her boss to be close at hand, which seemed to be enough to make him think she was perfect for the job. All seemed to be right in the world until 1990, when her boss noticed nearly $30,000 missing from his accounts. He accused Baker of stealing from him and demanded she give him the money or he would have her arrested. Baker didn't get the blame alone. He theorized that his wife had acted with her to steal the money, and perhaps that's why when he fell ill a few days later, he told doctors that he believed he had been poisoned. He was admitted to the hospital where he told everyone that his wife, an accountant, had given him something to make him sick and died shortly thereafter. An autopsy revealed that he had in fact ingested a large amount of arsenic. Baker and his wife had tainted a bottle of cranberry juice, his favorite drink, which he had shared with a friend. Luckily, the friend only drank a small amount and fell mildly ill, while the victim died in agony in the hospital. The investigation started with those closest to him, and when traces of the poison were found in a storage shed rented to Baker, she was fingered as the likely culprit. Prosecutors alleged that rather than a love triangle at play, there was a hate triangle. Baker hated her boss, and her best friend hated her husband, while he hated his wife and wanted a divorce. At trial, they proposed the theory that Baker had poisoned her boss to ensure her best friend got his full estate, as well as the proceeds of a $350,000 life insurance policy, rather than just whatever alimony she could get from the courts. Based on the arsenic in her shed, the jury agreed and convicted her, but that same jury only gave her a sentence of 10 years probation and a $10,000 fine. They believed that the wife was the mastermind behind the murder, so Baker got a lenient sentence. The wife was never even charged, however, despite the victim's family begging prosecutors to try her in the case. Since the murder trial wasn't held until 4 years after his death, Baker found other work as a bookkeeper in the meantime, and shortly before her trial, she was indicted for forging checks worth $3,200. In 1999, she again found herself in hot water for hot checks, but was offered a deferred prosecution agreement. But in 2003, her embezzling ways worked their way through the courts and got her a probation violation that landed her in prison. Baker was denied parole on numerous occasions until she was released after 10 years in 2013. Relatives of the victim still hold out hope that someday his widow will be tried for her role in his death, but it seems unlikely she'll ever face justice. Baker's case has been profiled in such shows as A Current Affair and Snapped, and a book about it was written by the victim's first wife called Fighting the Devil. If this is your birthday, have a great day! Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know somebody whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Debra Lynn Baker, I say, happy birthday, you bastard!